Mimi nitawaambia bila nilisema. Nataka nirudie. Kwa sababu wananiambia unasema hautaenda kwa Wamunyoro, nani alikuita? Unajua aje sijaitwa? Mimi niko na simu zangu, kuna wale wanakuja wanakupima Mimi nitawaambia bila nilisema. Nataka nirudie. Kwa sababu wananiambia unasema hautaenda kwa Wamunyoro, nani alikuita? Unajua aje sijaitwa? Mimi niko na simu zangu, kuna wale wanakuja wanakupima wanakuambia sijui tuende, si ndio? Hata my own people, some people who are with me in my teams, wanaweza kuwa ndio wananiambia, na mimi ndio nikasema kwa roho safi niwaambie kama kiongozi wenu wa Kirinyaga, mimi na sina ubaya na sina chuki na sina matusi, mimi huko kwa Wamunyoro siendi. Na wacha niwaambie ni kwa nini, na sisemi na ubaya, nataka munielewe. Tuelewane tafadhali. National politics is not a joke. Sio mchezo. Sio mchezo wapata potea. Na ipitanishwi hivi kama moto ya sigara tu hata mwaki wake. Angalieni historia. Opposition wamekaa opposition miaka zaidi ya 20. Kila mwaka walikuwa wanasema sasa mnataka muingie huko ndio mkue, hiyo ndio ikuwe korasi yenu. Sivyo ndio mnataka? Hivyo ndio mnataka? Hivyo ndio mnataka? Mnataka mkuange huko kila siku mkua mnatuita tusimame hapa press statement tukisema kime nie dire wako kimeibiwa. Niwacha niwaambie na ukwe na sina ubaya. Mimi nasema viti vya juu. Unanielewa? Msicheze tafadhali. Na mstupe kura zenu. Nataka muangalie. Sisi tutaangalia na tutakuwa tumechora mathematics. Tuambie vile tunaona. Mimi nikikuuliza leo, nipatieni hesabu yenu ya kuingia State House. Nipe hesabu. There is 50 million Kenyans. 25 million registered voters. Haya, nipe namba muingie State House. Mimi nitawaunga mkono niwafuate. Ziko wapi? Kama mbele ilikuwa 50% sio yenu, hesabu Mount Kenya minimum 50 is not yours. Na mtashangaa because campaigns haven't started. And when they start, msiseme pesa zilitumiwa, kwani tutakuwa tunatumia nini? Iko siasa itumiwi pesa? Hata mkiitwa mtatokelezea? Hakuna. So even that time, alafu utasema mtu amejipanga, hata hao watajipanga. Sasa mimi nasema nipe hesabu. Mimi nimeangalia left, right, up, down, back, nikaona huko wa hesabu haifiki. Hata tukisema 80% turnout, hata tuseme 90, na haiwezi pita hiyo 80%. Kwa sababu hata siku ile Uhuru alikuwa anaenda ICC amukupita huko, na huko tulikuwa na uchungu when we were all on one side. Turnout. Na mtakuwa na candidates, mseme nekea nyumwa kogitira. So a lot of these people wanasema hawatatokea hata kupiga kura. Sasa mtoke mseme twende sasa tujitupe sisi wote nje, tukue tunaweka press conference huku tukisema kimeibiwa. Alafu hizo barabara zenu mmetengenezewa zikuwe na mashimo. 5 years is a long time. Hospitali zenu tumejenga zile zijaisha kama hii ya Sagana ikwame. Si ndio? Industrial park ikuwe na cobwebs. Si ndio? Yetuko mureda. Thoko shito shikare oguo. Ciana shito itikande kwa wera. Neguo mureda. Neguo mureda tigai. Hivyo ndio mnataka? Kwa sababu hivyo ndio kunaendanga ukiwa nje opposition. Na mimi nimwambia nipatie hesabu hamna, na sisemi na ubaya, ndio mko na namba lakini hazitoshi. Hazifanyi nini? Nastaki mkufe moyo. Si ndio? Nataka tu ni wa encourage. Sisi tutawaangalia kama viongozi wa Kirinyaga. Totiko murekereria. Murere murekererie. Totuje na bara komonyiterera. Tonyiterera Kirinyaga. Ekoroha umethaini. Ukigaya nuto wako wa Kirinyaga ikerwa ya kwanza za Kirinyaga weka kando. Si ndio? Barabara zao zisikaguzwe na mtu, lazima ziishe. Si ndio? Watoto wetu tukisema tunataka teachers college ama nini hiyo KMTC jengwe, zinajengwa kama vile uliona tukifanya jana, lakini tusijitoe kwa serikali, si ndio? Atetotinie inyoro negotora karieke odhio, cutting the nose to spite the face. Hivyo ndio tunataka, watu wanataka tufanye. Ati umekasirika sana na sura yako ukate nini mapu? Hii mapua imenikasirisha, si ndio? Ehe, utakaaje sura yako?
Assalamu alaikum. Stuck in a work, home, then sleep cycle. Launch.
Thank you. Please be seated. Baba Skofu. Baba Skofu. Thank you. God is good. And all the time. Nisalimeni kwa hayo. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Bwana Yesu asifiwe tena. Hi cousins. Hi cousins. Cousins, hi. Hi Makuzo. Thank you very much. It's okay, Asante. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Asante. Baba Askofu na kanisa, tunashukuru sana kupata nafasi kuja kushiriki pamoja in this Thanksgiving ceremony. When my cousin Dr. Kalonzo called me and told me he's coming here, na akaniambia nimulete, nikajua hii ni mambo ya familia, si ndio? Because when your cousin calls you umpeleke mahali, sio ni mambo ya familia. So we are very happy, and the sermon was also very relevant to our cousin movement. This is a good church na tumeshukuru sana. Na tumekuja pia kuona pahali mnakaa, tuombe pamoja, pia tufanye Thanksgiving pamoja. Si ndio? Mimi sitaki niseme mambo mengi yangu tu. Mine is to ask the Church of Christ to pray for this country, because this country, we are in trouble. The country is being sold every day. Safaricom has been one of the greatest revenue generators for our country, about 18 to 20 billion shillings every year. Sasa share moja imeuzwa 34 shillings, whereas the real value is 70 to 80 shillings. So the country is losing about 250 billion. Sasa hii Safaricom inauzwa without public participation. And when we look at it in a very simple way, it's like you have a cow that is high yielder in your home. Hiyo ng'ombe ndio inatoa maziwa, watoto wanakunywa, wewe unakunywa, ingine unauza. Sasa wewe unauza hiyo ng'ombe na una ingine, ati ununue chakula ya siku hiyo. Sasa ukikula hiyo chakula, huna ng'ombe ya kukamua. So we are in a space in our country where Ruto is selling everything that is working. Mambo ya Kenya pipeline ameuza. Kenya port ameuza. Airport ameuza. Sasa Safaricom imeuzwa. When you look at ile wizi iko kwa mambo ya barabara. The road from Rironi to Mau Summit was supposed to be built by the French at 150 billion. Ruto ameenda amecancel hiyo, amepatia Chinese at 200 billion. So wameiba bilioni 50. Na Wakenya watalipa hiyo deni for 35 years. So that is why ourselves, with Daktari here and other leaders, we are saying we must liberate this country. Sindio? Otherwise, the way things are going, all national institutions are being sold. everything has gone haywire. Theft, right, left, right, and center. And that is why I want to assure the people of Kenya that we in the united opposition are clear in our mind that we shall stay as one. At the right time, we'll give you one candidate to face William Ruto. And let me also explain. There has been a lot of efforts by Ruto and company to woo Dr. Kalonzo Musyoka to his side. They have been trailing him everywhere and inviting him to join them. I want to confirm that my cousin here cannot betray the people of Kenya. Yeah? Number two, when that has failed, they think that they can put a wedge between me and Kalonzo Musyoka. Let me tell the people of Kenya, the relationship between me and Kalonzo is not about leadership. It is not about politics. It's not about the presidency. It is family. Sasa, watu ya familia wanaweza wachana? Blood is thicker than water. Si ndio? So, nyinyi munafikiria munaweza tenganisha familia, musahau. Bishop, sisi and our cousins from Mukambani, tumeenda hasara kubwa sana for not sitting down as a family. For many years, tumeenda njia panda. And as a result, the people of Mukambani wameenda hasara kubwa sana. Sisi watu ya mlima tumeenda hasara for not sitting with our cousins. Sasa familia imechanuka. Familia imeerevuka. We are going to sit as a family. And all our decisions going forward will be family decisions. Nilisema last Sunday watu wakajaribu kunikachifu kusema ya kwamba sisi si wajinga. Hii Nairobi Wiper iko na umaarufu kubwa sana. For a long time wamesaidia ODM. So tumesema there is no way we are going to have friendly fire. There is no way Wiper will fight DCP or DAP-K. Where Wiper is strong, DCP will support Wiper. Where DCP is strong, we will request Wiper to support DCP. And in the process, tufagie viti yote Nairobi. Na hatutaki kutenga ODM. Tunasema ODM, please. Nyinyi mumesaidiwa na Kalonzo siku mingi. Sasa mkitoka kwa Kalonzo muende kwa Ruto, si mutapotea. Tunasema mkuje tuketi karibu. Hata kama mtaki kuketi na mimi, si mketi na Kalonzo, mmekuwa na yeye mwaka 15. Si ndio? Because what we are saying, we want the face of Kenya in Nairobi. Si ndio? Tunataka tulieni vijana. Sawa. Gen Z peace. Aya, sawa, asante. Listen carefully. Sawa, tumesikia. So, what we are saying, nisikiza vizuri. Tunasema tunataka the face of Kenya in Nairobi. Na hatutaki ODM iwachwe nje. And we are saying we are depending on the experience of Kalonzo Musyoka kupanga siasa ya Nairobi. Because he has a lot of experience. Si ndio? So wewe kiongozi, weka sisi yote pamoja. DCP tuko na wewe tayari. Hii watu ya ODM umewaunga mkono mwaka 15, tafuta hao. Hatutaki pia wawachwe nje. Because they are part of Kenya, si ndio? Lakini wakiamua kufuata Kasongo wapotee, ni shauri yao. We cannot help them. si ndio? So mimi yangu ni kusema I want to confirm huyu kiongozi Kalonzo Musyoka nimefanya na yeye kazi mwaka moja sasa, and I have come to the conclusion that he is an honest man like Rigiji. He is not a deceptive leader. Ni kiongozi ambaye ni mzalendo wa Kenya, na sisi tutatembea na yeye pamoja, si ndio? Munataka tutembee pamoja? Tutembee pamoja? Tutembee pamoja? We are going to walk this journey together with the rest of Kenya, and we want to ask ODM, musikubali chama yenu imalizwe na Ruto. We want strong parties for a strong democracy.
Well, a very good evening to you and welcome to Checkmate on Hot 96. It is the 7th of December 2025 and it's 7 p.m. The time when we talk politics, and of course it is yet another time where we take stock of what has happened in the country. And this week, two things happened. There's been some gold that has been discovered in Kakamega County, in Ikolomani region there. And of course, we also had the former or the immediate former chief whip of the majority party in the Senate, Dr. Boni Khalwale, also being ejected from that position. And he's now talking and speaking openly about his position back during that time. And of course, he's here in studio today to tell us and explain to us really what happened. And of course, just going into that issue that has been, that has led to actually 4 deaths now in Kakamega County. Senator, thank you very much for coming. It is a great pleasure to have you here.
You're welcome na wananchi hamjambo. Asante sana.
Yeah, let's start with the gold. There's this area. I think you're best to tell us where exactly this gold is. There's been some gold that has really caused 4 deaths now in Ikolomani. What is the problem? What is happening there?
Maybe I start by correcting you a little. You've just told listeners that and viewers that gold has been discovered in Ikolomani. Mm-hmm. That is not true.
Mm-hmm. Gold has been there.
I remember when I was 10 years old, the artisanal miners from my village in Malinya, there were so many. In fact, one famous one was called Muchisa. Muchisa was a great artisan. They had been, and that is when I was 10 years old. That's almost 50 years ago. So it has been going on. The only thing that has happened is that whereas it has mainly been small scale, mm-hmm. through artisanal and miners and of course small scale miners, now the big players want to come in. So the big players did exploration, which has taken so long, and they came up with an announcement that we had deposits that were equivalent to 36,000 kilograms. So this being the case, they started the steps to now to do a proper mining. And as expected, they went to the government, and the government told them, it's okay. But they forgot that there are people living in those fields. So the people living in the fields now are demanding for a hearing. Mm-hmm. That's all that is going on now. Okay. So given a hearing, mm-hmm. and it is very easy, mm-hmm. that hearing will be done through their leaders. Mm-hmm. This thing will be controlled.
800 households, yes. in that entire region. Yeah. I don't know, how big is the area with gold deposits? How big is it?
Gold is found in the so-called the Liranda Belt. The Liranda Belt stretches from Shinyalu constituency, the Lurambi constituency, Ikolomani constituency, and parts of Vihiga County, specifically Sabatia constituency. So we are talking about vast area, mm-hmm. where this gold is. However, in the proposal by the Shanta Gold, which wants to make the investment. They propose that they acquire 337 acres of land that will be the reason for displacing 800 households. Given our family sizes, 800 households, usually with a household being a man, wife, children, and grandchildren, it is between 10 to 15 people per household. So we are talking displacement of 8 to 15,000 Kenyans. So it's a big thing. Yeah. And this is why, for the third time, the government has tried to force itself into the place without much success.
About 15,000 people. Yes. Are we talking about a whole constituency? If they were to be moved away, that would be close to a constituency.
10 to 15,000 in the 337 acres.
Okay.
But we know that having entered at that point of 337 acres, the mining company will then create tunnels underneath. And those tunnels will be able to reach all the areas that I've mentioned, from Shinyalu to Lurambi to Ikolomani and parts of Vihiga County, Sabatia constituency. So this calls for sobriety because it has got implications beyond relocation of people, namely the environment impact on rivers, the impact on existing institutions, and if we have time, I'll be able to mention some of them.
Let's mention them.
Yes. So these are the things that call for sobriety. As a leader who has not only led the community for many years, I'm also part of the development of some of those institutions. We are talking about knocking down or affecting Riranda Girls High School, Kakamega High School, Mukumu Hospital, Mukumu Boys High School, Mukumu Girls High School, Shikalagala National Polytechnic, Musingu High School, Malinya Girls High School, Shikunga High School, Ereki Teachers Training College, Ereki Girls High School, Musoli Girls High School, and so on, and Ushangala Technical Training Institutes. So because gold is gold, nobody is thinking about those institutions. So we want to say, okay, investor, sit here. How do we do this in the short term and in the long term? They can say they are doing underground mining and therefore the institutions will exist on the ground. But the truth is, the moment you go underground, you'll affect. No, they're going beyond a kilometer, so the structures can stand. But below that structures, that is where we extract our water to run these institutions, because we have done boreholes in just about everybody, in all those institutions. And what's more, there's a major river, the River Yala, that crosses through that. There is a major river, the river is Yuho, huge rivers that that drain into Tanzania and eventually go to Lake Victoria. So this conversation needs to take place. Why I stand with the people and I run the risk of being misunderstood by the government, which I fought for, is that the government is in a hurry to implement a project that requires deep consultation, a project that requires appreciation of its impact.
Okay.
You see, we are not in the 19th century. When these people came, they once came. They've been mining gold from the 1940s in Kakamega.
Company.
No, the British.
Excluding the Shanta Gold.
Shanta Gold maybe is coming in for the first time,
okay,
or partnership has changed and there's some people. So in the 1940s, they were mining and they just walked in and started mining. They didn't care because we didn't have a voice. But people are now politically independent. People are now better educated. People now appreciate globalization. So with this new scenario obtaining, we are saying, talk to us. We have our ideas. We want to hear your ideas.
What would be wrong with the government trying to get this and help? Because we are trying to move to the first world level.
Yes. They are using the old model, for which we already have legislation in Parliament, is outdated. It says an investor comes in, and the investor pays the country royalties. So from the sales of the gold, which will be worth 680 billion shillings, the investor is supposed to pay royalties of up to 5%. So those royalties, then the government is supposed to say, thank you so much for those royalties, 5% of 680 billion, which is round about 3 to 4 billion shillings only. So an investor comes, walks away with all that and leaves us with 3 to 4 billion, of which that 4 billion, the national government will take 70% of it, the county government will take 20% of it, and us, the people of Ikolomani, we shall remain with a paltry 5%. Now, we are saying that's okay, that's the old model. But we have a new model which has been tested in other African countries and other third world countries that will create empowerment rather than exploitation. It is this model that we are requesting in a roundtable meeting here in Nairobi or in London with the whoever investor it is. We tell them we want to use this model. And what is the model? We are telling the government that we want to own the gold as a people. The Constitution of Kenya, Article 62, speaks to this. It says all mineral resources are owned by the people of Kenya. So we are saying we want to be given an opportunity to exploit that particular resource. And our proposal is we allow shareholding, the majority to be owned by the counties of Kakamega, Bungoma, Vihiga, Trans Nzoia, and Busia. Why? Because we are the local communities. Nobody should bash me now. Yes, yeah. Nobody should bash me now that why do you want this national wealth majority to be held by Luyas? My answer is very quick. Don't be selective. Today, the Amboseli is owned by the Maasai. Today, the Masai Mara is owned by the Maasai, and they are living on very well. So we want to be given that opportunity. After that, we will create automatic ownership. And the automatic ownership will be that now this gold is not in all the Luya counties. The automatic ownership now will be for the people of Ikolomani, where the gold actually is, and Lurambi, and Shinyalu, and sections of Vihiga. These people automatically, each individual will have a share. From there, we are proposing that we want to create a gold city based on the proceeds that are obvious running into a fortune. Why this gold city is attractive? It is because we learn from the world best practices. The birth of Dubai, 50 years ago, there was no Dubai. But because of being mineral rich, they were not thrown out of Dubai. Instead, they created a city that was born out of the mineral gold oil. So we want a city to be created in Western, a Western city, the gold city. When the whites started mining gold, is when they asked, what is the name of this place? So there was no name. And then the white man was eating, and he touched the ugali so as to become friendly to the villagers. So the villagers said, Hameka, that, oh, he has also taken a piece. And then the guy said, what did he say? The other said, Hameka, because the communication was poor. Then he said, this place is the place of the people of Kakamega.
And that also extends to Ikolomani, which was a gold mine.
Ikolomani is Kakamega is the bigger one, but it also includes Ikolomani, Shinyalu, and Rand.
These percentages, because we know that the counties are supposed to get at least, they're now getting about 385 billion shillings from the national share of the national revenue. In this model that you're talking about, you already know that we have 680 billion shillings. Yes. How much should go to the national government?
If you run a butcher in Chepkupe, who go at home, you go to somebody's home, you tell him, I can't sell meat today because I want you to sell me this bull of yours. He pays you for the price of the bull. If the bull, our
Working across teams is tough, but Asana helps you handle it. That's because Asana is where
Nilisema kitambo, nikawaambia watu watulie, wacheni kukimbia, si ndio? Watu wakaanza kuzunguka huko, hapana, tumeenda sisi angake. We, siasa muroniri okay kule abere, muroniri okay. Siasa sio tu kuongea. Ukiona mtu amefika mahali amechaguliwa na kakaa, ndio kwa sababu unaona hata wale wako upinzani mimi nitawaambia bila nilisema, nataka nirudie, kwa sababu wananiambia unasema hautaenda kwa Wamunyoro, nani alikuita? Unajua aje sijaitwa? Mimi niko na simu zangu, kuna wale wanakuja wanakupima, wanakuambia sijui tuende, si ndio? Hata my own people, some people who are with me in my teams, wanaweza kuwa ndio wananiambia, na mimi ndio nikasema kwa roho safi niwaambie kama kiongozi wenu wa Kirinyaga, mimi na sina ubaya na sina chuki na sina matusi, mimi huko kwa Wamunyoro siendi. Na wacha niwaambie ni kwa nini, na sisemi na ubaya, nataka munielewe. Tuelewane tafadhali. National politics is not a joke. Sio mchezo. Sio mchezo wapata potea. Na ipitanishwi hivi kama moto ya sigara tu hata mwaki wake. Angalieni historia. Opposition wamekaa opposition miaka zaidi ya 20. Kila mwaka walikuwa wanasema. Sasa mnataka muingie huko ndio mkue, hiyo ndio ikuwe korasi yenu. Sivyo ndio mnataka? Hivyo ndio mnataka? Hivyo ndio mnataka? Mnataka mkuange huko?
Ne watieko siasa kasi Enoch Wambua, a member of WIPA. One thing Raila also told us about Kalonzo. But Vice President Kalonzo, extremely beautiful. And I've read in the eulogy that she was a classmate to Kalonzo Musyoka. And I hope that Kalonzo Musyoka will explain to us why she let go of such a beautiful woman. And is coming back here on the day of her funeral. But Vice President Kalonzo, some of us are quite happy to see you. You see, many people have said things that Raila told them. But there's one thing Raila also told us about Kalonzo Musyoka. He told us not to scandalize, not to attack, and not to antagonize Kalonzo Musyoka. And that is why in the Senate, the deputy leader of minority in the Senate is still Senator Enoch Wambua, a member of WIPA. In the National Assembly, the deputy leader of minority is still the Honorable Mbui, a member of WIPA. Your Excellency, I hope today you will also tell us what you had planned with Raila, because inaonekana kuna kitu mlikuwa mmepanga. Sisi hatuna ubaya na wewe mheshimiwa, and perhaps we only fear some of the friends that you keep, but otherwise as a person, you are not a bad person. Adwani arwa senators manka toka pokarwako gi to yiena uru awache wach moro gi dholuo. Awachi koso kikawachi. Jaduong' Oburu gi min piny yiena awach niya, mae saa moganda wa kaka joluo nyaka wabed motang', nyaka wabed mariek, nyaka wabed mochich. Nyoro ne watieko siasa kasipul gi Ugunja, ma wa confirm ni kaluo ka juogi mar Raila gi Jaramogi pod wuothe kindwa, ma wa confirm no ganda luo duto te odgi en chama miluongo ni ODM. Ne wa confirm no ganda luo duto te. Luo oburu oginga.
Unanisikia sasa Jiro? Hello? Jiro, unanisikia? What's happening? Hello? 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 Jiro, unanisikia? Hello? Am I audible? I'm not sure whether I'm audible, man. Okay, niko sawa. Good. Acha nisalimie wale watu wengine wote wherever they are. Karibuni. Ama ni mimi ndio nikuwe karibu kwa sababu mimi ndio nimefika. Ala? What has happened? What has happened? ina misbehave nini eh? Okay. Okay, let me talk about small comment about Kajwang talking very humbly, addressing Kalonzo Musyoka. You know, I think there is one fact that we should accept. Personally, I recognize that as Kenyans, we may have some problems here and there, and we sometimes are not sure of what we want in terms of leadership. And that level of indecisiveness, of course, we deny it. Personally, I've observed we are in denial about really knowing what we really want. I know we say we know what we want, but when it comes to making decisions, we have a lot of issues, a lot of problems, which most of the time, they just make you remain stagnant. I'll give an example of indecisiveness that had a few people not made the way forward, we would still be toying around with that idea. The new constitution, 2010 constitution, had we gone the real Kenyan way, and Kenyan way is whereby you make 10 steps, you retreat again, 5 steps backward, you go, then you retreat again, 10, and you realize you kind of, you are toying and toiling on one spot. The constitution, when it was made, it was not perfect. And as people are pushing and pulling, a few came and said, "Hapana, wacha ipite hivi iko tu ni sawa," because we cannot have it perfect. You know, wacha ipite hivi, that percentage that we feel is not in it, we will do that later. If Kenyans, we could adopt that moving forward in all the decisions that we make, we would be very far away. When it comes to, for example, corruption, you know, when we start talking of how to finish, how to curb, how to deal with corruption, it becomes a debate, you know, a debate of, oh, you know, you cannot be too harsh, and you know, everyone is corrupt, you know, all leaders are corrupt. So, tuna lose focus on the main idea on what we are supposed to do. So we go and believe that kwa sababu kila mtu ni corrupt, then ikae. All right. Oh, you know, we cannot bring very strict rules because we are a democracy, and you know, we take care of rights, people's rights, and yet we are saying we want to be like Singapore. Now, when it comes to leadership, as we talk now, you ask in these pundits, people who are in media, they are all over. Ask them, who do you think should be the president? They will not give you even one. But they are very quick to poke holes in any candidate that offers himself. Okay? Oh, you know, these are the same old people. They're the same thing, so we can't go anywhere. Then give us somebody else. Then when you challenge somebody to give you somebody, a person, they tell you, no, you know, people are there. Where are they if they don't come out? Okay? Oh, you know, like now we already have those who have expressed themselves, the Kalonzos, the Mathas, and you know, Wetangulas, guys like Anaitonani Tawe, okay, people like Amalwa. Those are more than 5 people, 7, 6, 7, 8. Okay, when they are there in the pool, you tell Kenyans, come on, let's be. I mean, can we have any of them? Then you are told, no. These are the old wine in a new whatever. So then, what do we do? Because people say no one is perfect. That we agree, and then we also agree that we are not going to have an angel coming from heaven to come and present her or himself for a leadership position in Kenya. So therefore we keep on toying around. Tunazungukana tu, oh, huyu si mzuri, huyu si mzuri, huyu si mzuri, huyu si mzuri. Now, coming to Kajwang. Kajwang talks very humbly, all right? He says, oh, you know, we have no problem with you, Kalonzo. But he goes and then anaweka, alikuwa amezungumza vizuri. Sasa inakuwa tena ati shida ni some of the people Kalonzo moves around with. Surely. If you don't like Stone PK, or if you like Stone PK, why do we even look at somebody else who, because Kalonzo is a politician. He will have so many people around him. So if we are all to say that we look at the people around, if he has one person you don't like, that disqualifies you. You like Kalonzo, yes, you admit, wewe ni mtu mzuri. Yani Kalonzo ni mtu mzuri, lakini sasa ni we, I think Kajwang is talking on behalf of Luo. Maybe Luo Nyanza or ODM, I don't know what we means, but I'm assuming the we is Luo Nyanza or ODM. That we fear some of the people you are with. Surely. Can Kalonzo have the best of the best according to individuals' liking? Is that a fair comment or reason why you would lose a good leader because you've seen one or two guys who you feel does not reflect to what you actually believe in? I don't know. Maybe this is a point we need to question each other. And how would one person, for example, Kalonzo, only have people who Kajwang likes? Now, maybe the people Kajwang likes are not liked by Stone PK on the other side. So really, how do we balance this very, very difficult test that some individual people are giving as excuses? Yeah. For me, generally, I see in that a statement of admission that Kalonzo is a good person. So if you feel he's a good person, why don't you tell him in your own way instead of going public or doing all that? Go to the office with a group of people where you come from, and then tell him, bro, I mean, Weshimiwa, we would like to come, but we feel like we don't want to come because of so and so in your camp. We feel he might want to. I mean, he's not the right person. And then you say you personally, or if you are representing a group, then of course you say you define the group you are representing. That is where I want to reach with Kalonzo with the Kajwang Kalonzo thing. Waiguru, very interesting. The narrative is that they fear to be in opposition. They don't want to be in opposition. That's the fear. Again, this is another very, very lame excuse. Lame excuse to justify why she is where she is. Now, Kenyans, I'm sure you've not forgotten that there was issues about the National Youth Service scandal. One among very many complicated, and not complicated, very, very shameful scandals about why NYS. So when you have those kind of issues and scandals and all that, where is it, or which space would you feel comfortable being in? So some of these comments, I think we may want to look them beyond what they are and try to unmask the beginning. Initially, I had alluded that you look for shelter where you feel you will be welcome and where there are people of similar traits. Okay, it's not easy to go and find a zebra looking for shelter where the elephants are, okay, or where the lions are. So definitely people of questionable characters in terms of what you may want to call anything, corruption, lies, mismanagement of resources. I think such people would never want to go under an umbrella where you have people who are calling for accountability, calling for austerity, people calling for dignity, I mean, management with integrity and management with what we call meritocracy. So these people would want to associate with mediocrity. Yeah. And therefore, we should not be surprised when some of these people say, huku hatutoki, tutakaa pande hiyo. Because that is where they find solace, that's where they find the shelter. And it is always said that birds of a feather flock together. So, yeah, you can imagine now how you have this kind of people on that side and the others on this other side. If, for example, you are not a good singer, okay, you would not go and sit with a group of melodious singers, choirs, musicians and all that. Even in the church, when you enter the church, I see those who like singing and they have confidence in their voice, they go and sit near the choir and they can sing along very well. But those who don't have those kind of talent, you see them going to sit with other congregation. So basically, yes, it is unfortunate that is where the country Kenya is. Bwana Njiro, able take over as I pick this call, please. Yes, Robert, unanisikia?
Yes, nakusikia.
Njiro, hebu endelea, niongee na simu ya Job kidogo alafu nirudi.
Yes, nakusikia, ni sawa. So nilikuwa nikitaka tu analyze hiyo story ya Waiguru na tujiulize what is the target of Waiguru when Waiguru is saying that mimi kwa Munyoro siwezi enda. So it is something I want us to discuss and we percolate about. Yeah, once sasa tumejiuliza Waiguru wanamaanisha nini. So na Waiguru wanasema sisi watu wa upinzani tutakuwa tunaongea all the time kimeibiwa. So what does Waiguru mean when she is saying tutakuwa tunalia all the time ati nini uchaguzi umeibiwa ukaibiwa? So does she think that we have no capacity to defend our votes, ama yeye anaona nini? So it is something we need to think about na tujiulize, mbona wale watu wengine wa upinzani ama sio upinzani, wale watu wengine including wale wanafanya na Ruto wanaona tutakuwa tunalia forever tumeibiwa. Waiguru thinks that we cannot marshal numbers. Waiguru thinks we cannot be able to work with the government and defeat the government. So those are some of the things that I think we need to ask ourselves. Kile vile Waiguru anaona na anaweka hiyo wasiwasi ni kweli ama we can turn this easy. So Waiguru anasema to lose hope, upinzani hakuna kitu unaweza fanya. So that was the question, Stone PK. Yeah, that is the question, Stone PK. Okay, give me 5 minutes, I'm back. Yeah, so let's ask ourselves about that, because hizo ni vitu akina wale watu wanatuangalia, people of the other side, they are asking, can we make it? So na tukiuliza kama tunaweza toboa, then do we have that courage to tell these people that ni mbele tu tuliibiwa na kuna pahali ingine tutaibiwa? It is something we need to ask ourselves. Sababu hao watu venye waliona tumeibiwa kura mbele, wanaona ni kama sasa sisi hatuna letu tena. We have no any other way of defending ourselves. We are helpless and we are running like a headless chicken. Yeah, so muingie show so that we can continue discussing this. Then kuna hiyo story ya gold ya Kakamega which is becoming very serious. I think people are open and now fighting the government. Then kuna hiyo pia story ya barabara, the same barabara tuliongea jana hapa. Hiyo barabara ilikuwa ifanywa na ma-French, alafu sasa finally ikapewa Chinese and we are losing 50 billion from it. Hiyo Mau Summit Road. Those are things we need to talk about. So Stone PK huko. So please kama huko ingia na uendelee. Juu nimeona umepotea tu mara moja. Na wale wajaingia mnaweza ingia, you contribute. Stone PK, are you there? Stone PK, are you there? Okay. Sawa, alafu sasa kuna hiyo story ingine ya hiyo contract Kenya na US wamesaini ya health sharing of data $1.6 billion. Mnaona kama ni kitu itakuwa na manufaa ama na faida kwetu sisi? Yeah, it's a question we need to ask ourselves. Although kuna mtu ametuambia ni the same contract ile imekuanga ikifanywa ya USAID, but sasa Marekani wamesign contract mzuri ile ambayo pesa itakuwa inapotea. Mbeleni mnakumbuka hata hii administration ya USAID waliclaim ya kwamba USAID pesa ilikuwa inapotea sana. Sasa wametengeneza programu ingine where things can be funded more. But what I don't know is what about the data? So, what about the data? It's about tunasikia ni kama hiyo wamelipia data. Ni data gani? So I think ni data ya ile tunapata kwa hospitali kwetu for the purposes of research. I think wanataka kufanya disease discovery, yeah, and disease research. So I think because they want readily available data, ndio wanalipia hiyo data ya Kenya. Hiyo program ya mahospitali Si tunasema kulikuwa na USAID. So sijui hii program ni kama ina replace USAID. USAID ile program Trump alisema it was a corrupt entity. But maybe whoever has information anaweza tuambia zaidi. No, it's not about that I'm being Israel type. Sinajaribu kusema like I'm trying to comment. So Yusuf, unaweza ingia hapa if you're not Israel type tutuambie. I was just saying. So it is my belief that now America has a efficient monetary checks. Watakuwa wanaona hiyo pesa inaenda wapi ili sasa kwa manufaa ya kusaidia Wakenya. I don't know if they have capacity to do that though. So Stone PK sikuoni. Unarudi kwa kituo ama nifunge? Sababu najua siwezi endelea kujiongelesha peke yangu. I think we were Joseph, na uacha kuniingililia na ulikatata kuchukua simu yangu. Wewe ni mzee wa chocha. Be serious with life. Yeah. Kalonzo naye ameambiwa na Wajaluo aachane na Gachagua kama anataka anything to do with them. Wow. Hiyo ni kubwa. Joseph, ebu comment about that. Uachane na Gachagua na sisi Wajaluo tukuje. Gachagua asikiliza hiyo ama bado? Ama asha? We need to talk and think about that. Stone PK, where are you? No, wewe Joseph, you are not serious. Niliachana na wewe. Wewe ni msawa chocha. You speak big and act less. Yeah. Stone PK, where are you? So Joseph anasema Gachagua is going nowhere. But we have other alternatives. So Joseph, according to you, unasema Kalonzo achane na Gachagua, arudi kwa Wajaluo. Is that what you mean? Na unasema vile Wajaluo wamemwambia uachane na Gachagua na si turudi nyuma yako. Can they honor that? Can they honor that? Ni swali tu nauliza. Ni sawa Gachagua leo anaweza achana na Wamunyoro. Gachagua akiachana na Wamunyoro leo, Wajaluo atampea hiyo support. Wanasema we are awarded by the friends you keep. Okay, ni sawa Gachagua aseme Wamunyoro tawe. Will they support him? Is a question. Okay. Leave Raila gospel. Anyway, ni sawa. Abdul Yosef. Mimi sina la ziada ila kufunga kituo. Acha tupatane kesho. Thank you.